Hi everyone, welcome to the course Elevate. In this video, we are covering the top 10 beginners interview questions for Power Apps. If you are just started out or preparing for the first role, this video is for you. So let's quickly go through what we will be covering. Here are the 10 questions we will look at from OnStart, App Checker to Power Automate and more. I have also written a detailed blog covering all of these questions with clear examples and explanations. So it's still in progress, but once it's live, I'll share the link in the description and pin comment below. So make sure to stay tuned. Let's get started. The first question is, what is the significance of the OnStart property of Power Apps? The OnStart property in Power Apps is like the app setup phase. It runs only once when the app starts and is used to prepare everything that app needs. Let's see the typical use case of OnStart property. The first is the load data into collections. For example, you can pull the employee record from a database when the app starts. Set global variables. So it's like capturing the current logged in user using set current user and user formula. Current screen navigation. So you can send user to a login or welcome screen based on some condition. Preload important data. So this improves performance by making sure key data is ready before user starts interacting the app. So let's have an example. So this captures the current user info as soon as the apps opens because this formula is written in the OnStart property of the app. So this way you can personalize the app or apply access control based on the who is using the app. So as a bonus tip, so Microsoft now suggests moving some of the logic into the onVisible property of the screen. So this makes the app load faster and feel more responsive. But still OnStart property is very useful, especially for things that only needs to run once when the app launches. Our next question is, what is the function of the app checker in Power Apps? So the app checker in Power Apps is likely a quality control tool. So it works like a helper that checks your apps for problems. It finds errors, performance issue or missing things before you share the app. So let's see the app checker panel. Here we have various sections. So let's go through one by one. The first is the formulas. So it checks the app formula just like Excel formula. So it helps you to pinpoint exact formula error so that can be fixed quickly. The next feature is runtime. So it finds problem when you run the app. For example, it will figure out any button that don't work or any logic that is broken. So it's great for catching hidden issues before user can see them. The third one is accessibility. So it checks your app is easy to use for everyone, so including people with disabilities. So it tells you something if it's missing, for example, label or readable text, or if any color is hard to see. Then we have the performance. So it looks for anything that might slow down your app, like heavy formulas or loading data too many times. It also suggests you to improve your app speed. The last one is the data source. So it checks whether your data is connected properly. So if any table is missing or renamed, it will let you know. It also prevent your app crashes due to data issues. Our next question is, how do you test Power Apps? So Power App provide multiple ways to test your app, both manually and automatically. So let's explore both the ways. The first is a manual testing with preview mode. So using the preview mode in Power App Studio to test your app as an end user. So this helps to figure out any error which is present in the app. Then you can also use the app checker tool. So this is a built-in tool to help catch errors in formulas, accessibility, performance and data sources. So it's your go-to tool for debugging. Third is you can do the device testing to check the responsiveness. So you can check your app on various devices, desktop, mobile, tablet, to check how it looks in each kind of device. Then we have role-based testing. So if your app uses the role-based access, so like admin, user, manager, then try to test your app by logging it with different role to check user permission and app screen visibility based on the user rights. You can also use a monitor tool. So this monitor tool gives you real-time log of the app behavior. So it's perfect for troubleshooting, slow response or any data issues in the app. Next is you can share your app with the test user. So before sharing to wider audience, Share your app with small group of users to collect the real feedback. Then come to the automated testing. So Power App also supports automated testing through a feature called Test Studio. You can write test cases that simulate user actions. You can validate outputs. So this is a great tool for regression testing. It saves times during repetitive test cycles. So here you can see the record button. So it works like a script recorder. You define steps, and in the app just click on button, enter text, perform any other activity. The Power App will replay them automatically and your steps will be recorded over here. By using them, you can create your test cases. Next question is, what is a form in Power Apps? So in Power Apps, a form is used to display, create or edit records from a data source. That can be SharePoint, Dataverse or Excel. Form help present data in a clean and structured way. It makes easier for user to interact with the app. So there are mainly two types of forms. The first is a display form, which is read only. So this form is used when you want to show the details of a single record, but you don't want the user to make any changes. For example, here user can see the employee information but can't edit anything. So here we have used the display form to display the read only data. Next is the edit form. So this one lets user to input new data or update the existing record. So you will typically use it in the place like registration form, feedback submission or any profile updates. So in this example, the same employee details are shown over here, but now each field is editable. So as a bonus tip, we can customize this form layout and make it to display single column, double column or 3 columns layout to display these fields. You can also perform the data validations as well. The next question is, how do you connect Power Apps to data sources? So for that, open the Power App Studio. So here you can start with the blank canvas or you can open an existing app. So in the left hand section, you can click on the data pane. So this will open the data panel where you will manage all of your connections. So let's click on plus add data. So a list of all the data sources and available connectors will be displayed. So like Azure Blob Storage, Excel Online, Gmail, Google Sheets and so on. Select the data source you want. You can also search the same. So here I have searched the student table which is from the Dataverse. So once you select that, hit enter and your table will be connected. So once connected, your data source will be added to your app. Now you can use the data source to populate your gallery or form. So if your data source is not listed, then you can use the custom connector to connect to any of the REST API, or you can also use the Power Automate to fetch and push data between apps. The next question is, what is a formula in Power Apps and why is it important? A formula in Power Apps is a set of functions written using PowerFX, which is a low-code language. So just like formula in Excel, so Power Apps formula help you define the logic, behavior and activity of your app. Why it is important? So formulas allow you to show and filter data, navigate between screens, display messages and control how user will interact with the app. So let's look at some real example of formula in Power Apps and we'll explore what they do. The first is the display a username. So you can use this formula users.fullname. So this will fetch the full name of the person using the app. Second is submit a form. Submit form, edit form 1. So it saves the data entered in the form called edit form 1. The third is to filter a gallery by name. So here we have used the formula filter along with starts with. So this shows only those employee records whose name starts with the text type in the search box, which is txt search. Fourth is to show a success message, we use the formula which is notified. So this will pop up the message saved successfully. And the last is we'll use navigate formula to navigate between screens. So this takes the user to another screen smoothly with a fade effect. So these formulas help your app work smoothly. How do you integrate Power Apps with Power Automate? So here in the Power App Studio, if you click on these 3 dots, you will have the option of Power Automate. So just click on that. So here you have option to create a new flow, or if you expand this flow drop down, you can choose from the existing flow which are available in this environment. So let's say you have clicked on this add flow icon. So all the flow which are available in this environment are displaying here. So now just see, I'll choose FL underscore delete income. So just double click on that. So once flow is either created or double clicked on the existing flow, its connection will be added to the screen and this will appear over here. And I have added a button over here. So here you can call this flow. So FL underscore lead income dot run. Run is a method and one is the parameter which is required to run this flow. So in this way you can use Power Automate in Power Apps. The next question is, what is the difference between Canvas app, model driven apps and Power Pages? So let's see these details. So as the name suggests, Canvas app provides a blank canvas where user drag and drop components. So Canvas app starts with the user interface. User can create pixel perfect apps and can connect thousands of connectors for data sources. Second, we have the model driven app. So model driven app starts with the data model. You design your tables and relationship in Dataverse and the app is generated from that structure. Here are the Power Pages. So Power Pages is a tool in Power Platform that allows you to build secure low-code websites for external users such as customers, vendors, and partners. So these websites connect to the Microsoft Dataverse. So we will compare them across key features to help you understand when to use each one. Design approach. So Canvas app offers a drag and drop fully customizable UI. You can start with a blank screen and design every part of your app. Model driven app generates UI automatically based on the data model, so no need to design layout manually. Here Power Pages lets you build websites using templates and your own design, just like creating a simple website. In UI control in Canvas app, you have fully pixel perfect control every element on the screen. Whereas in model driven app, you have a limited control as the layout is structured and based on the data model. Whereas Power Pages offer moderate control and use the web builder to design your page. Canvas apps are more flexible. You can connect over 1400 data sources including SharePoint, Excel, SQL, and Dataverse. Model driven apps work exclusively with Dataverse and Power Pages also uses the Dataverse. So Canvas apps are best for custom task-based apps on mobile and desktop like data entry or dashboard. Model-driven apps are perfect for complex data-centric apps where business logic and workflows are critical. Power Pages is used when you need external facing websites or portals for customers or partners. So as we said earlier, Canvas and model-driven apps are mainly used for internal user and Power Pages are used for external users, vendor and customers. Canvas app use basic security controlled by to whom the app and data sources are shared with. Model driven app offer advanced role based security via Dataverse and Power Pages uses web role and authentication to manage what external users can see or perform in the site. Then we have business logic. So Canvas app uses the Power FX formula. Model driven app use built-in workflows and business rules. Power Pages leverage Dataverse and Power Automate for backend logic and automation. Canvas app requires manual layout adjustment for different screen size. Model driven app are auto responsive and Power Page uses the web responsive out of the box. Canvas app can work offline with configuration. Model driven have limited offline functionality and Power Pages do not support offline uses. And the last one is a use case. So as an example, you can create inventory, time tracking and approval forms and internal dashboard in Canvas app. For model driven app are best suited for case management and CRM solutions and Power Pages are ideal for customer support portal and vendor onboarding platforms. And that's your overview of the three main Power Apps type. So each one serves a unique purpose. So choosing the right type depends on user data and business needs. Next question is how to connect with SharePoint from a Canvas app. So in the data section, you can click on connectors and you can choose the SharePoint. So there are two methods to connect. One is SharePoint Online and another is SharePoint on premises. SharePoint Online directly provides the SharePoint URL site. It will connect and all the list and libraries of that SharePoint will be available to use. Whereas SharePoint on-premises, you can use the on-premises data gateway to connect to an on-premises location. So let's choose here SharePoint Online and click Connect. So here you will see all the recent sites which you have connected earlier. So you can enter a fresh SharePoint URL site over here, or you can choose the existing one. So here I have chosen HR site. Now click on Connect. So once you will choose any site, so this connect button will be enabled. Just click on Connect. So once connected, you will see the list available in that site. So I have chosen the birthday tracker, SharePoint list, and hit the connect button. So now SharePoint list is connected successfully, so which you can use in the gallery or form in the app. This is the way how you can connect SharePoint with Power Apps. The last question is, what are the limitations of Power Apps? While Power App is a great low-code tool, but it does comes with some limitations, especially for building large or more complex solutions. So let's quickly go over 9 limitations in simple terms. First is the limited records. You can load up to 500 records by default from a data source. This can be increased up to 2000, but it still may have problem with the big data sets. Some Power App functions don't work with large data sources. So this means you might not see all the data if the app can't process it on the server side, or your data source does not support the delegation. App with lot of screens or complex logic can become slow, so especially on the mobile device. Power App has lots of great UI builder, but if you want full control like custom animations or layouts, it can be limited and time consuming to develop fully responsive app. So offline support exists, but only for specific data sources, and it takes extra step to set it up. So to use connectors like Dataverse or connect to external systems, you will need a paid license, and that adds to an extra cost. There is no built-in Git style version control, so working in teams or rollback changes can be very tricky. It's hard to share with external users. So Power App is mainly used for internal users. Sharing app with people outside your company need extra setup, or you have to create a Power Pages for that. And the last is the limited integration. It integrates best with the Microsoft services, but if you are working with the third-party tools, integration can be difficult. So that's all for this video. Hope it was helpful. Please like and share this video. I have collected some important interview questions and prepared this ebook. To download this free ebook, link is given in the description. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.